Welcome back to V.S Trucks. In today's video, we are going to be doing a towing comparison between our 2020 F450 and our 2019 F250. Now the 450's got the 6.7 power stroke, the 250's got the 6.2 liter gas V8, and what we will be towing is our dump trailer. So empty, our dump trailer weighs 5,000 pounds. So roughly 5,000 pounds. So I know it's not that heavy, but I will say this. I am curious about the MPG between the two trucks. Will the diesel be that much better at around 5,000 pounds? Now, obviously, if we were towing a ton of weight, the diesel is going to be better as far as MPG and all that stuff. Now, we know the diesel is going to tow better, but I've already towed both. I've already towed this trailer. I've already towed this trailer with both trucks, and I do know the diesel has like super performance while towing. But the 6.2 also has a 430 gear as well as the 6.7, so they both have the same gear. So I feel like this is a cool test because it gives you a comparison between the two engines. But number one will be our 6.2. We're gonna go ahead and drive with the trailer with the 6.2 first, and then we'll hook up to with the 6.7 and we'll see the difference. See you guys on the road. All right, and we are in the 19 F250. Number one, we are going to reset the trip computer. Right now we are averaging 8.1 miles to the gallon, and that is towing every day, all day. And that's our smaller trailers. We're not towing this big trailer every day. We're towing our little 16-foot utility, and it probably weighs in at about 2,800 pounds. That's what we're getting towing every day. We're not really towing it in the efficient way. We're just kind of going house to house. But we are reset. We're gonna see what MPG we get. See you guys once we get rolling. All right, guys, we are just getting started, and we are at 5.2 miles to the gallon. Pretty much all city so far. I mean, it's all gonna be city, but very low speed city, just like side streets. But yeah, cruising along here. 6.2, 430 gears. Got about 16,000 miles on this truck. Tows this trailer just fine. It's 5,000 pounds. Now I will say, when I went and picked up the trailer, I used this truck, and it was a little bit sketchy going out with this truck, because when I first got this trailer, the brakes on this trailer did not really work. And I called the shop where I bought the trailer from, and they did say that, hey, you just got to break those brakes in a little bit. And just the F250 brakes by itself were not great for towing this trailer with no brakes. It was kind of like, man, it's pushing me a little bit. So once I kind of rode the brakes a little bit, or kind of let the brakes break in a little bit, the trailer brakes did start to work, and now it's not an issue. One thing too, this trailer just bangs around back there, and I don't know, it could be because of the type of lift mechanism, but pretty noisy back there. But yeah, it does fine, pulls well. I'm curious if the diesel's going to be significantly better. I know the MPG on that truck can be pretty good, but the way I drive most of the time is pretty low. MPG is pretty low. But yeah, guys, so far so good. I'm going to drive a little further, put a couple more miles on the truck, and I'll touch base with you guys in a minute. So if you follow this channel, then you might have already seen some of the previous towing videos that I've done. And normally I have a few different camera angles. Normally I have one outside looking back. It looks kind of cool because it all gets synced up. You can see in the front all the different landmarks passing by, and then in the back you can see you can see them in the rear, and it's all synced up. But I couldn't find my other camera, so I've just got the one angle today. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, so far it's doing good. We're getting 8.6 right now. But yeah, if you also follow the channel, do you know this is our new 16-foot, 16K dump trailer from Short Track. Just picked it up a few weeks ago, not long. And yeah, so far so good. Nice trailer. Haven't really done too much with it yet. Aside from breaking in the brakes, I dumped a couple. Oh, got a yellow light there. I dumped a couple loads with it so far, and it's been performing well, but nothing crazy. But soon we will be putting the dump trailer to the test. But if you follow the channel, you know our other dump trailer was stolen, which is a crazy situation, guys. You know, a young kid steals a dump trailer. Worked with this kid for a number of years, and dude stole my dump trailer. Very strange situation. And he lives around the corner, and every time I see him, he flicks me off. He just drives by. Like we pass each other all the time. He like flicks me off every time. He throws me the middle finger every time he sees me, which is kind of interesting. It's like, man, why are you upset with me? You're the one who stole my trailer. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And he denies having anything to do with it. But if he didn't do it, it's a very strange situation, because he definitely created a scenario where it seems like he did it. You know, he like, I don't know, he's been saying all this crazy stuff, that he has fake profiles that he steals from people on Facebook. He just creates this profile that's fake, and then he sells something in Marketplace and tries to get people to send him the money digital, and then he just disappears. Like, it's weird. Why would you be talking about that? Why are you bragging about that? Then he tells a story that his cousin steals cars, and he shows up with Corvettes, and like, we didn't ask if your cousin steals cars. Like, why are you just one of those guys that just tells the whole story? You know, he told on himself. You know, all these different scenarios where he steals, then tells a lie that he got caught with a gun because the police had a gun detector, so he quits because he was caught with a gun detection. Really? They detected a gun in your car, through your car? They just scanned the car. Like, interesting. So, strange situation. Kid steals $10,000 trailer and then acts like he's mad. I mean, geez, at least don't be mad that you stole my trailer. It doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, but as it is what it is. Crazy situation. It makes it so you really I don't want to hire anybody. Like, why should I hire anybody? You know, yeah, there's unemployment going right now and all that, but I hate to say it, but I feel like I don't want to deal with anybody right now. It's the truth. It's a sad situation, but it is the truth. Why should I hire somebody just so they can come get a W-2 so they can get on unemployment? Because that's what's going on. If a lot of the people working right now, a lot of people who are not working right now and looking for jobs, a lot of them are just looking for a quick job so that they can get a W-2 for a couple weeks, and then they can get unemployment. Because they changed all the rules. Like, it used to be you had to work for a certain period of days or months or whatever before you can start claiming. But now I've had people claim unemployment on me that worked for me for one day, and then next thing you know, they're claiming unemployment, and you can't contest it. It's just, oh, you're approved. So it's just a weird time. I'm probably gonna come out of the funk soon and start hiring again or whatever, but it's like, man, why am I hiring people? We got to pay all these ridiculous wages, regardless of what minimum wage is. It doesn't matter what minimum wage is. No one's willing to work. So just to get a guy to come to work, you're talking $20 an hour, $25 an hour for a guy with some kind of experience and that can do something. You try to hire somebody with experience, they lie and they suck. Like, they just lie to you and come in and work, and they're terrible. Like, what kind of experience do you have? 15 years. I can do this, and I can trim bushes. Never trimmed bushes in their life. And, you know, you got to do what you got to do to get a job. I'm not saying, don't lie, because that might be the only way to get a job is kind of fudge a little bit of what you can do. But it's a little ridiculous, some of the stuff, that people claim that they can do. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who may steal from you, may lie to you, they're going to cheat you if you give them the chance. They're going to cheat to get over on you. You you turn it back for a second, they're not working anyway. Yet our special needs government sides with the employees. I mean, I'm not saying don't side with employees, but what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And you see all these like stores close up shop. They're like, yeah, we're closing, because a lot of these people have multiple businesses. I was just looking at Facebook, and a local business is saying, yeah, we're closing our doors. Yep, closing our doors. Come to our other store. They're consolidating. You know what I mean? They have individuals got 2 or 3 different stores. Why keep them all open? Keep only the minimum open. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm doing the minimum that I can do to stay, in business until some of this stuff stops and I can actually feel like it's a good time to grow. Like, growing right now means hiring people. Hiring people right now means dealing with. It's hard enough to deal with a person in normal times. Now you hire a guy, he's gonna work for a couple days and quit. Like, what? What are you saying, man? Like, that's I've had in 2020, I have hired 10 or 15 people. They have worked a day and they literally disappeared within a day. I don't know if like some of their unemployment checks are coming through. I don't know if like what to do, but I've hired all these people that worked. I had a guy work for an hour, not even an hour. I had a guy work for 10 minutes before he even, like, nothing was thrown at him out of the blue. Like, no one asked him to do anything. He knew what kind of equipment we were running, and he walked in to work, and then walked right out of work. That's what we're dealing with right now with this new. 2020 was a tough year. 2020 was a tough year. 2021, not as bad because I didn't try to hire a lot of people or do a lot of stuff. But yeah, people are closing up their shops, man. People are closing up their shops because if you've got a couple shops right now, if you got a couple locations, whatever. There's one person on Facebook saying, "Sorry, we're closing up our deli, but we're keeping our cupcake store or whatever they had. We're keeping our cupcake spot open, but we're gonna close the other one because there's no staff. Our last day is gonna be Saturday. No, there's no one working." This is gonna go on for a little while, because if you've been collecting the amount of money that they've been given, you got money till the end of the year. You got money till next year. I mean, what are y'all buying? A lot of these people are putting it away. Our economy's not doing that great to where all this money is just being released back. People know better. They're already saving. We're dealing with this pandemic and all that. People are saving money. So it's gonna take a minute for, if they ever stop printing all this money and doing whatever they're doing, if they ever stop doing that, then the economy will slowly start to change. It's hard to say if it'll get better. Depends on what you even consider better, because for me, I need a little bit of not a recession, but I need a little bit of unemployment, legitimate unemployment, to even have a hiring pool to hire from. If not unemployment that is better than working, that's terrible. I don't even know. I don't know who came up with it. That Trump, maybe, because I mean, whatever side of the political, Democrat, Republican, whatever. I think everybody's kind of. I think Trump had like $600 a week. He endorsed. That scared me. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a weird situation. Guys making $600 extra a week. That's going to be strange. That took all my staff. I mean, $600 a week. Everybody quit. That was it. Everybody's done. Everyone's gone. So, but yeah, we are 15 minutes in, 11.8 miles to the gallon. Mileage is getting a little bit better now that we are putting some miles underneath. But yeah, towing good. Brakes are good. Everything's going pretty good. No overheating or anything. Not too heavy though. We will be increasing the weight. We will most definitely be increasing the weights in order to make this a little bit more challenging. Now, the 450, it's not going to be hard for that truck. That truck's going to be no issue regardless of how much weight, because it's got so much power. But the 250 at max towing, so this truck has a 15,000 pound towing capacity, so shouldn't be I think at the top towing capacity it's going to struggle a little, but it's going to get the job done. But we'll see. But yeah, crazy times we're living in right now. But I will say this, 2020 was so tough. I wanted to cry a couple times because I went backwards so much, guys. That's what a lot of people don't understand about like entrepreneurs or business owners right now in 2020, especially the smaller guys like me. I'm not talking about like Ford Motor Company. The smaller guys like me, like I had to go backwards 4 years, 5 years, because I went from having a crew, figuring out what kind of work I was going to get for the crew and getting my crew busy, to there's no more crew. I got to do everything myself, and I got to hire and train all new people, and I'm the only guy that knows how to do anything on the crew, and I'm trying to get everything done, and I'm paying people to not know how to do anything. Like, that's rough. Going out there trying to get stuff done and nobody can do anything, and you're just like showing them stuff, and then they're just, oh, it's hot, oh, I can barely. Like, this one guy I hired would just putz around all day, just barely moving, and I'm just like, oh man, I gotta let you go, man. It's a strange thing. Strange times we're living in. Just beautiful winding roads though. It's very nice. Truck's doing fine. Like barely towing. So the thing about those 430 gears, they're better in the city than they are on the highway. Better in the city than they are on the highway. But does good. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, I'm gonna pause this for a second, drive a little further, and I'll touch base with you guys when I see something interesting. See you guys in a few. Yeah, guys, that's too bad. That poor little deer just got it. See him there? Fresh one too. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. But yeah, we're doing good. Towing good. I'm actually gonna touch base with you guys when we're home. We'll switch trailers. We'll switch truck. I'm sorry, not trailers, but truck. We'll switch to trucks. See you guys once we get home. All right, so we made it back to where we started, and we got 11.4 miles to the gallon. Let's go ahead and switch out the trucks and see what the diesel F450 gets. See you guys once we switch the trucks. All right, and there you have it, all hooked up. Took no time at all, but what a beautiful setup. Got my dump trailer here with the F450. Very, very nice setup. But how weird is this, guys? This bird just landed on the hood and is slowly dying right here on the hood. Very strange. Very, very strange. So good thing I caught it in time. I can kind of drive down the road and he'll fly off somewhere else, and I won't have to deal with it. But yeah, this bird's just waiting for the reaper right here. But anyway, see you guys inside the truck. All right, guys, so this time we're in the F450, and we are going to reset the trip computer as well as the MPG so that we know how far we went. I'm not sure if I even recorded the distance on the first trip, but we are recording it now, and everything's right here in one spot. So it gives you the average MPG as well as the trip computer. We'll reset both of these though. that one as well as this one. And it gives you a timer, which is nice, which I don't know if the other one did that. But we were at 12 miles per gallon at the time of resetting. So let's go ahead and get the show on the road. All right, guys, and here we are. 0.8 miles in, 6.2 miles to the gallon, and making progress here. So this is my daily truck. I know it's ridiculous. It's a 2020 F450. And as you see, I got my phone set up like that. Very controversial. A lot of people didn't like that. It is questionable. You know, it's right there. It's got a camera mount next to it. But it functions. I like how it functions. It works good. I mean, I can control my phone. And the thing is, like, you can't control your phone. By the way, that's from Tacform. That's actually a motorcycle mount. If you look underneath, it actually has a loop for a motorcycle handle. So, kind of interesting. But I can control my phone from here. But what I do is I just say, okay, Google. And from there, I tell it what to do. And it hears me. And it works well. So that's how I kind of work that. And it's still listening to me. It's like typing everything I'm saying, typing everything I'm saying, typing everything I'm saying. Now it's confused. But yeah, like I can tell it to open YouTube and play a certain YouTube channel, and it'll literally do all that. It'll hit play for you. So, you know, whatever music you want to listen to, just tell Google. Pull it up on YouTube. And it opens YouTube and it does complex artificial intelligence. So yeah, it's like, I like it. And it's also got a PowerPoint back there. I've done videos on that. If you're new to the channel, check it out. Look at the F450 playlist. There's videos of me putting the Built Right mount in there, putting PowerPoints in there. So I got 12 volts power, so I can charge up all my stuff. If I got my drone with me, I can charge up my drone. I've also done a 3,000 watt power inverter in the back there. So pretty cool. My little project truck. But yeah, we are 2 miles in, getting 9.5 miles to the gallon. I'm curious if this truck's gonna do better than the 250. We're not real heavy right now. We've got roughly 5,000 pounds. We are going to increase the weight, don't worry. We'll take it right to the max weight of the 250, which will be 15,000 pounds. But hey, maybe we'll be a little crazy and go 1,000 over. I don't know. We'll see. But then we'll do it like that. I will say this. Towing with this 450, you see the fluids being used up a lot quicker. You see the DEF, the DEF fluid, getting used up way quicker. You see the oil life monitor going down way quicker. It's like these new diesels, they take a lot more maintenance, a lot more oil. But I'm telling you, it's not lasting longer. Like the oil life monitor tells you to change your oil. It seems like it tells you to change your oil sooner than the gas variant of this truck. I'm always changing the oil. Like the oil life, if I drive this truck, every time I drive this truck, I at least lose 1% minimum just from starting it up. So, and it's not terrible, but it's not like, because it holds more oil, it can go longer between changes. I think those days are gone. This thing needs to be changed just as often. The oil needs to be changed just as often as a gasoline powered variant of this truck. But yeah, we're creeping up there. We're already at 11.5 at 3.2 miles. So pretty good. Very curious of how it's going to ultimately do. But sorry for getting a little political with you guys. You know, it's just kind of what I'm going through right now. You know, it's kind of what's on my mind. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's like we've got politicians just plugging our economy, pressing buttons on our economy, and really you have to wonder what the ultimate goal is. It's like you want to put a large portion of our population on some kind of welfare or some kind of help, some kind of unemployment. It's like, man, you guys know what you're doing? Really? Do you guys know what you're doing? It's like, But what can you say? Just roll with it. You know, it's not like I got a huge company that's taking a huge hit. You know, it's very, you know, small. Went from having 3 guys to maybe just me and another guy, so one helper. Things will get better, you know, just venting a little bit. But I have to say this. Ford right now is on top of their game. Ford trucks are best, guys. I have to say, Ford trucks are the best right now. Look at that new Chevy up there. It's like all the cards are out right now. All the cards are out. Ford has released the F-150. Chevy has their new truck. Dodge has their new truck. Dodge came out with the e-torque. Very cool technology. Crushed by the power boost. Absolutely crushed by the power boost. There's no comparison. And by the way, every F-150, any F-150 can get a 2,000 watt inverter. You can order that with any. I think you can't get it with the diesel or the 3.3, but with the other engines, you can get a 2,000 watt power inverter. You can get a 2,000 watt power inverter in the truck. So that's something to consider if you really don't want to spring for the power boost, but you like the idea of having power on your truck. That's a pretty significant inverter. Like that, to get a 2,000 watt inverter aftermarket is gonna cost some coin. You know, it's gonna cost you the inverter itself isn't a lot of money. It's like a couple $100, but the wiring to get that 2,000 watt inverter is gonna be quite expensive. It's gonna be chunky wire running all over the place in your truck. Whereas having it integrated like that, the software that Ford uses is pretty good, guys. Pretty dang good to onboard power. Can't get better than that. I mean, you could power some serious stuff with 2,000 watts. You could probably power an air compressor on 2,000 watts. I was just powering mine with my 3,000 watt inverter, and it did fine. I mean, it was under 2,000 watts. Probably would have pushed the 2,000 watt to its limits, but right in the sweet spot for the 3,000 watt, like right there at half its capacity. Very interesting stuff. Very cool stuff that Ford's doing. The power boost, 7.2 kilowatt power boost. What? It's just next level. Like we kind of take it for granted because this stuff's available, but Ford has just came out, in my opinion, crushed the competition. The power boost truck has way more torque and horsepower than any other half-ton. It's relatively affordable for what it can do. I mean, yeah, the one we just built was $60,000. That's a lot of money. I do agree that's a lot of money. I understand. But for the level of performance that you're getting out of it, I mean, it's so fast. It drives so good. It sounds kind of weird when it's coming down the street and you're outside, you're standing on the sidewalk. It has a weird whine to it, like the electric motor working by itself. You can hear it just coming at you. It sounds funny, but Ford's on top. And even my 19250, in my opinion, the best truck. So if you're trying to stay under that 10,001 pounds, which a lot of us are, the 19250 is the best truck because you have the best payload. Yeah, GM might have more payload if you get like a payload package. I'm not sure if they do or don't. They can get good payload, but you're going to be well over the 10,001 pound mark. With the aluminum body on the Super Duties, you can be right there at the 10,001 pound mark, which a lot of regulation starts coming in some areas once you get over that 10,001 pound mark. But the payload, guys, I got like 3,000 plus pounds of payload on that 250. You could put salt in that truck. You could put, solid. It's a solid front axle in the front, independent in the rear. Amazing truck, guys. Amazing truck. I don't know what I want to do with that. I don't know if I want to trade that in for another power boost because I really like the power boost technology. As a work truck, that thing would save me a lot of money. But it might be a little weird to tow a trailer with that power boost daily. Like, I love you, Ford, but do I think that could be a good thing daily? Towing, day in and day out, that would be a torture test for sure. Do I want to risk it? Because if it keeps going electric mode, Like, is that going to be too much? Does it know? Am I always going to remember to put it in tow haul mode? I got this truck in tow haul mode right now, but the 19 that we just tested, I literally forgot to put that in tow haul mode. But on another side note, towing with this thing is pretty nice. The 10-speed works well. I know a lot of people complain about the 10 speeds. This one, it shifted funky for a little while, but then we did a update, just some software updates through Ford, and it started shifting a lot better. No factor, no problem. Excuse me, little COVID sneeze. But yeah, start shifting a lot better after that. The engine brake, a lot of people complained about that, but it's like this truck knows when it's towing. Like when it's actually towing and you got it in tow haul mode, the engine brake is a lot better, especially too if you kind of give it a little more time to stop. It's not doing a whole bunch right now as I got the trailer brake gain set a little bit higher, so, but it knows. It's almost like it knows when something's pushing you. So, very interesting. Love this truck. Tow's great. I know it's a little bit excessive. Gotta watch the speed though on these cops. All these cops. They're going right there. Love the police. But yeah, this truck's great. You know, this truck's great. I don't know if a power boost is. It's cool because if you think about it, you can have like an electric lawnmower. You turn on this generator mode in that truck, and it just got power for days. Power for days. I'm loving what Ford's doing. I think they're the top right now. If you can get over, you know, the potential problems, that's something to really think about. It's not for everybody. You know, if you want the safest truck, maybe that's a dang 6.2 or a 5.3 from a Chevy. I don't know. You know, Chevy, they've got to have all kind of weird stuff too, though, with their engines. They've got to use ultra thin oil, and they've got to. One thing about those EcoBoosts, if you wonder what's better longevity, yeah, there's more moving parts. EcoBoost is one of the few engines that makes good power and uses a 5W30 motor oil, which is, believe it or not, thick oil nowadays. 5W30 is now considered thick. Most of these big V8s, the 5.3 to 6.2 from GM, they got to put like water oil in. They got to use 0W20, and I think they got to use like real thin oil, like the 5.0. Like, yeah, the 5.0 was the best engine until you had to use like whatever thin oil they're using and whatever they're doing with the ultra low drag rings and trying to do all this stuff in order to get these MPG ratings up, but in turn end up burning and consuming oil. The cylinder shutoff system on the GM trucks, I've heard, have issues. That's a weird thing. How are you shutting off these cylinders? Are you just gonna cut the fuel to that cylinder, or are you actually like doing something with the compression and the valves? Now you're talking about complicated issues. I've heard a lot of people having problems with the cylinder deactivation. So, you know, it's up in the air. I don't know if Ford is the best as far as longevity. I mean, when you think about, it seems like if you really wanted to have the best engine for longevity, you'd want like a 6.2 V8 from like 2004. Not the first ones, not the last ones, but the ones that were just push rod V8s, not a ton of power, less than a 2.7 EcoBoost, but still good power. I had one of those, one of the best trucks I ever had, my 2004 Sierra. Great truck, but the thing got old. You know, it got old and I had to replace it. And then, of course, the government and the EPA, they're making these companies do a lot of extra stuff in order to build trucks. So I know the 6.2 V8 from GM is a great engine, but what all did they have to do in order to make it efficient? The cylinder shut off, thin oil. I don't know. I have to look into that. I'm not sure. Right? I haven't really looked at GM too much, but I will say I highly doubt it's as efficient as an EcoBoost. And one thing too is like all the towing videos with EcoBoost and they're not efficient and all that. Yeah, I think that's probably true if you're like gunning it, because in those towing videos you inadvertently have to show how fast it is while towing as well. So if it's that fast, maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe if you're driving it fast, then it's going to be poor on fuel while towing. But my towing videos with the EcoBoost have showed some of the best MPGs, but I'm not doing power pulls at the same time when I'm testing the MPG. Like, I think that defeats the purpose. So, you know, it's one of those things, either power or boost. But if you think about it, you're in some kind of a power band that the V8 doesn't even exist for the V8. The low end power, when you got just a regular 3.5 EcoBoost, I'm not even talking power boost, I'm talking regular 3.5 EcoBoost. It makes its torque at like 1800 RPM. You're not even doing that with, oh, there's that poor deer that we saw earlier. It's got like rigor mortis. It's all stiff. A lot of death today. There was a dead bird on the hood, and it blew away and got ran over by a car. It was definitely dead. Poor deer, I mean, or poor guy who hit a deer, jacked his car up. But yeah, a lot of death today. But yeah, I just think Ford's on top of their game. I mean, they've really pushed the envelope. They are seriously coming out with an electronic vehicle, an electronic truck. The power boost stuff, they really played it smart with the power boost. I'm telling you guys, they really played it smart. Like, they didn't make it weak. They didn't make it slow. They didn't make it a compromise. They made it the way to go. They made it the sought after thing. It's affordable. It's cheaper than a diesel. Diesels right now are so expensive. I would definitely do a 7.3 Super Duty with the power boost. They doubled down on like the added torque. That would be a cool truck. I don't know if they could put the 3.5 in a Super Duty, if that would have enough reliability and torque. I don't know if it would overheat. I don't know. That'd be I would do that as well. I would do a 3.5 Super Duty power boost if that could come out, or I would do a 7.3. Now the 3.5, if they did a 3.5 power boost in a Super Duty, that'd be really efficient compared to a 7.3, I think. You know, but you know, I don't know if they'd ever do that. If I was in charge of Ford, I would be testing that at least. You know, I would be figuring out if we can do a test. Give me one. I'll test it. Give me like a F350 single rear wheel, 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, and we'll put an EcoBoost in it, a power boost engine in it. The thing is too, like, you can beef that engine up a little bit, give it a little bit more engine oil capacity, so it doesn't get as hot. Like, just double the oil capacity, but extend the drain interval. I think if you just doubled the capacity, I think you'd get more drain intervals out of it, I would think. I don't know. And then I mean, geez, look how dirty the oil gets on the diesel. I think it gets pretty dirty on the EcoBoost too, though, because it's direct injected, a little bit of soot. I don't know if the EPA is coming after EcoBoost or direct inject engines over the soot. Are we gonna make it? No, it turned yellow. Great brakes though. I can definitely tell the 450 has better brakes than the F250. We are 12 miles in and we are at 14.3 miles to the gallon, so way better MPG. Ooh, we're at 18 minutes though, so I better touch base with you guys once we get back to the starting location. See you guys once we get back. All right, and we are back. Same route, 22 miles. In the F450, we got 14.5 miles to the gallon, so significantly more efficient than the F250. Let's get this truck parked and we'll do a final walk around and talk of what we've discovered on this quick MPG test. All right, and that's it, and that's that, Jack. We just finished. Both trucks did well. The 450 got better MPG by quite a bit. I think the 250 was under 10 miles per gallon, while the 450 was at what, 14? I don't know. But anyway, that's it. Sorry we got a little political, but it is what it is. But trailer's doing good. It's home, parked. It's bigger. So if you remember, the trailer that got stolen was able to cut over and fit over here on this side of the yard. 16 footer, not the case. I can move it around with the mower, The lawnmower will get it down into the spot, but it can't push it back out. It can't get it back off the lawn. So that's been the challenge. But 250 did good too. Much cheaper, more affordable truck, easier on the maintenance. But you know how it is. Everybody generally knows that the diesels are going to be better for the guys that are putting on the miles. But anyway, thank you for watching DS Trucks. Comment below. See you in the next video. Over and out.